everyone to this September 10th virtual meeting of the Paducah Planning and Zoning Commission and the URCDA. I would ask that you join all of us as we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Summer, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Benberry.
Here.
Mr. Bradford. Mr. Morrison. Ms. Pollard.
Here.
Mr. Wade.
Here.
Chair Crecilius.
Here. Ms. Pollard, I believe you have our first item of business, which is the minutes motion.
Move that the reading of the minutes for August 17th, 2020 be waived and that the minutes of said meeting as prepared by staff be approved as amended.
Second.
Second by Benberry. Is there any discussion? Are there any other changes or additions to the minutes?
I think I missed what the amendment is being requested.
Sure, go ahead.
Josh, I've got the amendment as being the fact that Neil Oliphant was in attendance on the call, and it's so noted under his case.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other comments, questions, or additions? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Benberry.
Aye.
Commissioner Pollard.
Aye.
Commissioner Wade.
Aye.
Chair Crecilius.
Aye. Now we move to our URCDA cases. Mr. Wade, you have the first item of business.
Yes, I move that the URCDA approve the utilization of roof stabilization assistance program funds in the amount of $12,720 for roof stabilizations at 319-321 Broadway, subject to the work being completed by one of the qualified architects that bid on the work. Second.
Second by Benberry. Do we have a staff presentation?
Yes. Hi, my name is Catherine Byers. I'm the Business Development Specialist for the city. I am housed in the Planning Department, and I'm going to be presenting the roof stabilization grants for this fiscal year. So, as you all know, this has been a program that has been in the city of Paducah since 2013, and it is in the boundary in which Josh has pulled up for us. They're blocked off in yellow. That is the purpose of this roof stabilization grant, is to address the large number of historic buildings in downtown Paducah that have roof issues. It's to stop further deterioration of these buildings that might endanger the public's health, safety, and welfare within Paducah's historic district. There are 5 different eligibility requirements, 4 different criteria for funding allocation, and these are all things that were taken into consideration when reviewing the applications. For this fiscal year, we had 4 different applications. Those are, Josh, if you could go to the next slide, that would be perfect. We had 4 different applications this year. These were off of 319 to 321 Broadway, the second being 206 Kentucky Avenue, the third being 401 Broadway, and the last being 409 Broadway. Due to the limited funding due to the pandemic kind of slimming down our budget this year, we had to go into the budget and apply those to each of the bids. So as you'll see, actually, Josh, I think that's actually the wrong, I don't think that was the final cover sheet. While he's getting that, I'm just going to read these off. So we had for 319, 321 Broadway, 50% of their lowest bid, which is lined out in the ordinance, would be $18,569. With the adjusted amount, cutting that by 27%, that would be what Mr. Wade read off, which was $12,720. So I don't know if you guys wanted to address these line by line, or if you'd like for me to run through all four at the same time. So just let me know and I can run through those four.
I'd just as soon go through them individually, if you don't mind, and give us a little bit of an overview of each one as we go through. Is that okay?
Perfect. All right. So that's the first one that I went through. And again, that is 319 to 321 Broadway, with the grant award being $12,720. We're going to move on to the second application out of the four. That's going to be 206 Kentucky. And 50% of their lowest bid was $21,303. And again, with that adjusted amount, which is a 27% cut to adhere to the budget, that's going to be $14,600 of a grant amount. So rounding out that one, we are going to go on to 401 Broadway. Again, 50% of that lowest bid would be $27,000. And once more, adjusting that with a 27% cut, that rounds it out to $16,930 of the grant. Moving on to the fourth and final application, that is 409 Broadway. 50% of their lowest bid was $21,937. With that 27% cut mentioned previously, that leaves that grant amount being $9,750. And within each of these, if you guys have any further questions, I'm happy to answer those now.
Are there any questions or comments? I think we'll go through each of these individually with each motion, and any comments or questions that you might have about these individual applications, we can take those as we get to them. Will that be all right with everyone? Okay, so we have heard all four of these presented. Our first item of business that Mr. Wade has already read the motion for is 319 to 321 Broadway. If you've read the information that was provided in the packet, it's pretty thorough. It tells you pretty much everything about the reason why they want it and what their what the problems with the roofs are. Many of these applications have photos as well, which really help to document what the problems are. Does anybody have any comments or questions on 319 to 321 Broadway?
I have one question. Typically, the city doesn't look at each, like the bid. Are they just not concerned about? The reason why I say on Chamber, each one of those bids are really the same, except Mark on Chambers one is using a 20-year roof EPDM, which is like a 45 mil thickness, the thickness of a dime, and the other two are 60 mil. But on the first one, he's removing the clay caps and replacing it with bronze, and the other ones are not. So the first, Chambers actually is probably putting a thinner roof, but doing more. Does that matter at all? Or is it just whatever the owner wants? I'm just curious.
Yeah. So they've just had each of those contractors come out. And I see Katie just popped on here, so she'll probably chime in. So each of those three contractors have, go out and individually assess the situation that's on the roof and apply what they see to be applicable to fix the roof. And so with this, I would assume that when Chambers went out, that's what they assumed would do the fix. Katie, I'll kind of defer it to you if you had a further explanation.
No, that's fine. It's fine. It's just a stark difference between the three. 1 and 2 and 3 are very different in how they approach it. So
that's correct.
My question would be, I'm sorry, Katie, I don't mean to interrupt, but you may be able to answer this question. You have 3 bids here. The application and the amount of money that's granted is based upon the lowest of the 3. But if the applicant chose to use one of the others, they would still just get the same amount of money, but they could choose whichever of the 3 contractors that they wanted to use. Is that correct?
That is correct. As long as it is a qualified roofing contractor that meets the requirements that are laid out in the ordinance, so that they sign the warranty, they do the lien waivers, and then they ensure that the roof project that is being constructed is going to be a watertight, sealed roof rehab project. So as long as they meet the ordinance requirements, then we apply that criteria, and then the award is based on no more than 50% of the lowest bid.
I hope that helps a little bit, because you're absolutely right. The two bids are kind of like apples and oranges. They're not exactly the same. And if they chose to do the more expensive renovation, that would certainly be okay, but they only get the amount of money that we would be granting them tonight.
And again, making sure that it's one of those 3 that they've listed there, that it's an approved contractor.
Correct. Are there any more questions, comments? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Wade.
Aye.
Commissioner Benberry.
Aye.
Commissioner Bradford.
I think he's muted.
Muted.
I'm going to abstain because I didn't hear the entire discussion or the motion.
Okay.
Gotcha. Commissioner Pollard.
Aye.
Chair Casillas.
Aye. All right. Ms. Pollard, you have 602 Kentucky Avenue.
I move that the URCDA approve the utilization of roof stabilization assistance program funds in the amount of $14,600 for roof stabilization at 206 Kentucky Avenue, subject to the work being completed by one of the qualified contractors that bid on the work.
There's second.
second.
Second by Mr. Benberry, I think.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Are there questions or comments on this particular item of business? I would just make the comment that I was on the Market House board at the time that they acquired this particular piece of property, and I'm so thankful to see that the city is going to help them with roof stabilization, because there was a real concern that the building might not survive if it did not receive some serious roof stabilization. So I think it's certainly will go a long way to helping them in their project of trying to rehabilitate this particular building. Does anyone else have a comment or a question? If not, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Pollard.
Aye.
Commissioner Wade.
Aye.
Commissioner Benberry.
Aye.
Commissioner Bradford.
You're muted, Mr. Bradford.
I wasn't aware that I was a member of the URCDA. Am I acting as a backup tonight?
Is an alternate, yes.
Okay.
Take votes of
Then I
alternate.
vote aye.
Chair
Thank you.
Casillas.
Aye. All right, Mr. Wade, you have 401 Broadway, please.
I move that the URCDA approve the stabilization of roof stabilization assistance program funds in the amount of $16,930 for roof stabilizations at 401 Broadway, subject to the work being completed by one of the qualified contractors that bid on the work.
Second.
Second by Pollard. Mr. Byer, I know that you are on the call. Do you have any comments?
I just want to say I appreciate each of you and the opportunity, and proud to be a part of a community that has a program like this for business owners, building owners downtown, and developers. It's a huge help, and I think it's a great thing that we're investing in our historic downtown. So thank you.
Thank you for doing the work.
Yes, ma'am. It's my pleasure to be a part of the community.
Are there any other questions or comments? If not, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Wade,
Aye.
Commissioner Benberry,
Aye.
Commissioner Bradford,
Aye.
Commissioner Pollard,
Aye.
Chair Casillas.
Aye. Ms. Pollard, you have 409 Broadway.
I move that the URCDA approve the utilization of roof stabilization assistance program funds in the amount of $9,750 for roof stabilization at 409 Broadway, subject to the work being completed by one of the qualified contractors that bid the work.
Second.
Second by Wade. Do I understand that this is a new business that's going to be opening up in downtown? If so, I think it's great that the city is willing to support them on this particular piece of property and stabilizing that roof.
This is actually an existing business, and it's split into two. It's barbecue and more, and then a flower shop. So they are just. Go ahead. Did you have a question?
Are you sure we're
This is not
talking about the same place? I thought,
No.
yeah.
409 Broadway is
321 Broadway is the one you're talking about. Are you not?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
409 Broadway did have a lounge, restaurant, bar and lounge on the ground floor last year, and they are looking for a new tenant on the ground floor. But they do have a artist studio on the second floor, as well as apartments and residential on the upper stories. So it is occupied as a mixed-use building.
Wonderful.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. The joys of working at home. There you are.
Yeah, sorry, I mixed those up. But yes, Katie described it perfectly.
Are there any other questions, comments? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Pollard,
Aye.
Commissioner Wade,
Aye.
Commissioner Benberry,
Aye.
Commissioner Bradford,
Aye.
Chair Casillas.
Aye. Now we are moving on. That completes our URCDA cases for tonight. We're moving on to Planning Commission new cases. And we have one item of business tonight. Mr. Wade, 4915 Village Square Drive.
I move that this commission adopt a resolution approving the amendment to a development plan for property located at 4915 Village Square Drive.
Second.
That's second by Pollard. This is obviously a new property. We had already dealt with subdivision of property previously. The building's now been built. and they want to have their logo on the front of the building and a monument sign. Other questions or comments? Then call the roll, please.
Commissioner Wade,
Aye.
Commissioner Benberry,
Aye.
Commissioner Bradford,
Aye.
Commissioner Pollard,
Aye.
Chair Casillas.
Aye. That concludes our business for tonight. We are adjourned at 6 o'clock. Our next meeting is September the 21st, and I believe it will also be virtual, will it not?
Yes, it will.
Okay. If there's no other business to come before the commission tonight, we stand adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Everybody have a
you.
good night.
See you.